All right. Painting continued at Maxim Grunin Art. And this is the starting blocking of clouds in the sky. So we got blocked in the sea, the sky, the cloud formations with shadow, midtone, and light information started, and some color information like the yellow, orange, or brown, light brown there in the middle. And that light is gonna start to become more detailed, and it will have to come in. It will be coming in towards the right more. And I think I mixed the orangey, the brown light information, maybe even a bit on the yellow side, and with lots of white in it, of course. And now I am starting to pick up on all of the light information within the clouds, only this time going from a blocked in stage where things are general and not particular. Now I am going into the particular information. There are all these complex looking shapes representing the puffiness of the cloud, like these flowers or cotton ball type of shapes, and they all react with the light. So if the light is coming from the left side and hitting all of these clusters, hitting all of these clouds, then the bumps, the protruded areas will be picking up the light information more, and so the shadow will be composed of purple, blue, gray, purple, and blue, and the variations of these colors, like the blue and the purple, and the lighter and darker, and slightly different color variation. That's gonna be all in the shadow on the right side, and the left side is being built up with more light and highlight information, such as this bright yellow and bright orange, and like all on the warm light side. And clouds, any surface, any subject has its own surface quality. So like what kind of surface do clouds have? What does it appear to be? And it has these specific characteristics, and I am attempting to build the notions of the cloud appearance into the painting so I am picking up on lighter areas and adjusting and building those light areas into the clouds, while also designing the way the look is gonna be of it. Though it has mark making. It's easily explained. Like the brush can make a horizontal line or a vertical line, but so it can make all sorts of dabs and strokes and marks. So anywhere from minute scale to larger scale, and all of the capacity of the brush as a tool to apply paint, then I will use those bits definitely. So I rely on being able to use the paint and the brush to be flexible and malleable, and just the way I need it to be. So the I am mixing some lighter blue that has lots of white in it, and I am also building more detailed information in the areas that don't have much done. There needs to be a surface that's populated enough. If I look at reference, if I look at a picture, if I look at the clouds in the sky, if I look at anything, there will be a variety of detail that's necessary to include if I want to portray a certain subject. And in this case, my attempt is to have a fairly full developed, like have quite a bit of detail showing. So it pays off to spend some time and to really dig into each and every surface of the painting and bring a satisfying amount of information, of detail into all of these components. Right now we're seeing me paint with just an off-white. It's got a tiny bit of yellow in it, mainly white, and I am again going into the mass of light, and I'm addressing how that light carries over, translates, or moves into the area of midtone and shadow, and I'm designing these painterly and diversely formed kind of marks with the brush to represent what I am painting. I spent quite a bit of time mixing and looking at my reference and mixing paint, definitely. So it's efficient to work on an area and then do as much as necessary to show. So yeah, here I'm showing that I have a couple of areas a lot more developed than let's say the upper area within the clouds didn't get much work done, and this area in the middle is getting more attention and is coming about more and more, and little by little I am just like zooming into smaller and smaller features. So we see how I started and kind of built an area where orange, brown, yellow, pale gray, pink, lavender, like all this combination of beautiful vivid colors kind of blooms in the center of the cloud. There is probably where the light is hitting it the most, and all these colors and the light show is all there. And now I am starting to move that color and light information into adjacent areas with the attempt to create these kind of wavy patterns to represent the hills and the valleys within these cotton ball shapes of clouds. So I'm highlighting very carefully with intention to be kind of cloud-like shapes on the edges of these. And this task, I approach it as a task. So I figured out that the light on the cloud in this area is gonna be mainly out of these orange yellows and white yellows. So now I'm just taking them from the palette, those 2 or 3 colors that I figured out that will work, and I am bringing them in to the areas where they didn't appear, and I am trying to distribute this information in such a way that, you know, there's like a lot of it in a focal area, and then it as it goes out to the edges there's less. And the photograph, the reference is really good for this task, because I can see, oh, you know, within the photograph most of the active and contrasty and color information is in that area, but as it recedes, as it goes out into the shadow, the light is diffuse, and, you know, so I'm trying to pick up on these things and populate the canvas in that way. And already I'm starting to see that the form of clouds is starting to come out. Like we can see the shadows, the midtones, the colorful light, and there is already something happening there. And now I am keen on spotting, like, okay, how I would probably need more of these orange, yellow highlights in many more areas. And so just dig in and take like a good amount of time to work through this. It's a task. And now I am coming back to the light area within the cloud and highlighting it further, so that to separate it even more from the bluish sky behind it. And I'm also watching for roughness. If I'm looking at any part of this cloud, is there any jumps that are a little too rough? So I kind of soften and fade areas as well. I'm adjusting everything to the next thing. So I'm adjusting all of these next to each other surfaces, the adjacent surfaces. I'm also bringing in more saturation, like that splash of yellow came in, and I'm softening. And I am building a more particular profile, like more particular cutout to these shapes. And I'm noticing introducing even smaller details in this mode of kind of circly, kind of light is coming onto the clouds in this kind of circly fashion. So I placed yellow that's mixed with white in several areas, and then I went back with the brush to shape it and adjust it and connect so that it all flows well together. So, you know, it's possible to get a bunch of paint onto different areas and then come in and reshape them or finalize shaping them with the brush afterwards. So as I place a bubble of paint, I can leave it there for a little while and place a whole bunch of them and then do them all up together. And there will be diversity, the color light and dark and color diversity. I am gathering from observation that that side of the cloud is gonna have even lighter blue variations. And so little by little, with a lot of patience, I am building and building and building the painting up. And I've taken that middle section to focus on a little more, and I shot the video focused on mostly on this area and a lot of other areas in the painting that need attention still, but I'm gonna do this right after I finish creating this video. And then, you know, so like the amount of time that it is gonna take to do up a whole bunch of these surfaces is much greater than the video, definitely. So it is a waiting game, and it's a game of patience and being dedicated. So you see how the orange and the highlights are spread a lot more now across the middle and towards the top of the picture. It's being built up. So here's where we at. I wish